All right, so if you're using catch-all verification tools, most likely you're being scammed. So this is going to turn into a little bit of a mini series. We just talked about cold email cleaners being a scam, but this one is just even a bigger one. So there's really only one tool, and it's not mine. Don't worry, I'm not trying to sell you anything. Personally, I don't even do catch-all verification because at the volume I'm running things, it's just not worth it for me. It's just more worth it to get more leads into the pipeline. It's because I have such a huge TAM than to actually go get those catch-alls. And here I'll show you what is even a catch-all, why is it very difficult to clean, and why most companies who offer this are just pretty much blowing smoke up your ass. So here's the thing. The industry won't tell you that you're not being sold the right product. And, obviously people are just marking up catch-all verification as the premium version of email cleaning. But first of all, you have to understand what is even a catch-all to begin with. So catch-all is basically a reflection of the domain that is configured to accept any addresses at that domain. So even if that domain inbox doesn't exist, let me show you what that means, right? So if you send to XYZ123 at company and the domain is catch-all, the mail server is going to say yes, even if the inbox is just basically a black hole. So for example, if you were to find my email, which is sabo@scalingroom.com, that's one of my emails, that could be true, that could be false. You don't know that, right? So if it gets marked as valid, then you think it's valid. But if you go and check XYZ12349 fake email at scalingroom.com and that turns also valid, then you might be scratching your head like, that Sabo guy might not have his real email there, right? And that's just the thing. You don't know. It could be false, could be true. So that's why cleaners exist, to supposedly help you with this. But the problem is, they do not do that. All right. So again, just this makes it pretty much like impossible to verify whether or not it's real or not. So the example I showed you, that's what most email cleaners do, is first of all, they check the domain and the inbox that you put, so sabo@scalingroom.com, and then they try to validate that with checking if the domain is catch-all or not. So again, just trying like a fake example. And if it is, it gets marked as catch-all, and that's how you know, right? Hopefully the email cleaning tool that you use actually does this for real. If it does not, then that's a big problem. Why most catch-all cleaning tools are a scam, and I hate to tell you this, but I don't have anything to sell you. I don't use catch-alls myself. I'm just purely putting this out for information purposes only. And the reason I know this is because we dug deep and we created our own email cleaning tool. And we found out about obviously catch-all verification as well, how it's been done in the market. We tested some tools and we actually did some comparisons. We ran some actual catch-all verification, a very, very small scale, but it's just really not worth it for us to even sell to you guys, even at like no markup, because it's just so expensive. If we don't put any markup on it, you're still gonna pay like $200 for like 50K emails. It's not worth it, right? So real catch-all verification requires monitoring bounce behavior over up to 48 hours. So if you don't understand what that means, it's just simply, if you send an email to the fake example I mentioned to you below is XYZ123 fake email at scaling.com, and that bounces, which could take like up to 48 hours, then that means obviously the email is fake. And why it's expensive is because you have to send real emails, you need to track it. And it's not just that, that's just one of the strategies, right? I'm not gonna tell you the whole cake, but this is basically it. Like that's the hard part, is like actually sending real emails and just verifying whether or not these are real or not. But the problem is, even this is not like a foolproof way to verify if it's catch-all or not, because not every time you get that answer back in 48 hours or even at all, right? That's the weird thing about this, right? So what you need to do, again, just here are some steps, what like the tools should be doing is they want to run like a quick SMTP handshake probe based on the domain level signals, right? Obviously. Mark everything as rich key at catch-all, which I explained to you previously. Charge you per credit for results that's a little better than random, and verify in minutes, which is a dead giveaway that there is not real testing occurs. So if the tool you're using is doing this, the biggest giveaway is if you get back your results within minutes, that means it's kind of sus, right? You need to move away from that. So again, if your tool returns within a few minutes, just go away, So here's the little secret. tools have no incentive to be accurate. They charge you per credit, right? The more you pay, the more they make. And this price is slightly higher than the normal verification, but the tech is just way different because you have to actually send emails and not just the SMTP handshakes. Again, if you don't know what that means, don't even bother. It's really not worth it, in my personal opinion. So a tool that tells you valid when means unknown keeps you buying like more credits and you're gonna keep burning more domains, right? It's just not a good business for you. A bad verification doesn't just waste your credits. It burns your domains, it burns your emails, it burns your infrastructure and everything else that you paid more money for. So again, that's why like there's a ripple effect. And that's why I'm making these videos about email cleaning, just so you're informed and just so you see the truth. And I'm the only one here to tell you the truth, because I'm not making money off of you, right? The honest truth, we don't offer catch-all cleaning, like I said, and we send 1.6 million emails per month just for my own offers. I have clients who I sold infrastructure to who in total are sending around 7 to 8 million per day. That's crazy. I obviously help them with email cleaning, selling them leads, right? Because nobody else is giving them a fair deal. And I'm just here to help you scale effectively. But catch-alls just doesn't make sense. So if you don't want to listen to me, don't do it. So if your tool returns within 2 minutes the email cleaning, it's just not catch-all, right? It's not because, obviously we cannot build it. It's because just like we refuse to sell you like inaccurate results, right? That's why we stick to email cleaning and catch-all cleaning. It's not just we cannot do it. We could do it, but it's just very, very, very expensive and it's just not worth it. And overall, it's not a good user experience to wait 2 to 3 days, pay like $200-300 to clean like 50K emails, right? It's really not worth it. So what we offer, like I said, if you want to do email cleaning, infrastructure, you could go to MailDeck or Email Shield and you could check it yourself. We have lots of clients. Everybody's very, very happy. We currently have an Easter sale going on. By the time you're watching this video, it's probably passed. If it has, I'm sorry, but you're still going to get the best infrastructure that currently exists on the market. And why do I tell you this? Is because this is the infrastructure that we use for ourselves and our clients. At this point, almost sending up to 10 million emails a day for our own offers and our clients. So, if it works for this volume, it's bound to work for your 10, 100K sort of a day type offer. Again, just like to quickly verify and just recap, don't trust people who are sending you results within minutes. Trust the people who send you 48 hours. And by the way, that's like, we only found like one tool. We tested like 15 catch-all verifiers, and then one of them took up to 2 days, which was Scrubby. But Scrubby is very, very, very expensive. I think they charge you $400 for like 100K, even a little bit more. But that's really the only reliable tool we found. So if you want to take anything away from this video, you desperately need to clean those catch-alls, go to Scrubby. I have no affiliations with them. That's just based on my testing, what I've seen like currently in the market. Obviously it's expensive. It takes a while, but it gives you actual results. So if you want it, go there. Again, no affiliations, just what I've seen based on the data and the testing. So what I recommend, so personally, if you just want to listen to me, if you just want to copy what I'm doing, I'm sending chat volume. I'm actually just sending millions per day. And then I really don't care about like the little catch-alls, because there's always like millions of leads that I can get to per day. But obviously, if your TAM is not that big, you can go to Scrubby if you really desperately need those catch-alls. But personally, I would spend that extra money in more infrastructure than cleaning those catch-alls. So again, if you just want to try like Email Shield just to get like an accurate email verifier tool, currently we charge $199 for 1 million emails. You get 40K free credits if you sign up first. So by the time you're watching this video, Email Shield might be already out. If it's not, you're going to receive an email within the next couple of days. Well, now you know why catch-all cleaning is a scam. I hope you got something away from this video. Now you know what to do and what I'm doing, so you can take it back into your own business and just scale. I'll see you in the next ones. Cheers.